thanks for coming. And oh, we got a good Friday for you. The first one, this is kind of fucked up. Excuse my language. Taylor Swift, first time in her life, is experiencing a massive drop in popularity. So it's interesting. You go on YouGov, right? And you see in the last quarter, ending January 5th. So this is not even before, this is not even, the texts weren't leaked yet. The texts are coming. She already was dropping because I think people are kind of grossed out by her involvement with Blake Lively and It Ends With Us. You know, everything about her is so highly controlled, and she comes off as like, I'm your best friend and I'm just that girl and I've gone through everything just like you. And unfortunately, she's kind of looking a little bit like a mean girl these days, and it's not a good look for her, especially because it goes against everything in her image. Whereas she's like, oh no, I love girls and I'm your best friend that you'll never get to meet or go on my jet. Super fine. I actually am not hating on her too much. I was, however, insanely grossed out by the text. So the YouGov poll, this is fascinating. Let me get you the numbers. The YouGov poll had her dropping from a 55% popularity, and that means people love her a lot, dropping from 55% to 46%. That's like an 8% drop. And yeah, that came out January 5th. However, as we know, this week, the text came out and it ain't pretty because, ooh, this poor girl, you text stuff, whatever. Now, I'm of the camp that I think Taylor was trying to be Blake's bestie and be supportive and all that stuff. However, she did meddle and she did allow her song, Tracks of Your Tears, or Tracks of My Tears, to be used in the movie and then manipulated by Blake. And some of the texts, they're kind of gross. Like on December 5th, 2024, Taylor sent Blake a screenshot of a People magazine article where Baldoni claimed he was sexually traumatized by an ex-girlfriend. And Taylor wrote, I think this bitch knows something is coming because he got out his tiny violin. Okay, cool. Blake then responded how the story rings different when Justin doesn't mention that he didn't always listen when she said no during their work together. I'm gonna cut off here for a minute because guess what? Justin was the director and the producer. He's allowed to say no. In fact, that's kind of his goddamn job, don't you think? So we'll go back. And then Blake also noted Baldoni was being honored at a Vital Voices women's event. And then Blake and Taylor discussed how confident predators feel that they'll, quote, always get away with it. With Lively expressing disbelief that Baldoni would accept an award as an ally for women. I mean, it's insane. In April 2023, Blake had asked Taylor for help with Baldoni during production, calling him a doofus director and asking Taylor to tell him she was excited about certain scenes Lively had written. Again, that Lively had written when she wasn't really supposed to. All right, because it was already written by a professional writer. Anyway, she used that. We've all heard about it at the court, where Justin was like, yeah, you didn't need to do that. Also, it turns out Taylor knew that Blake was calling her one of her dragons. It's insane. And Blake texted Taylor, you were so epically heroic today. You making shit up about me and lenses and referring to yourself as my doll, and this clown falling for it all. It's just mean. Anywho, then in December, after Blake texted Taylor, can you imagine feeling as confident as these predators that you're always going to get away with it, blah, blah, blah. Taylor responded, it's like a horror film. No one knows is taking place. Girl, please. I mean, after the New York Times thing dropped, Taylor texts Blake saying, you won, you did it, and you fucking helped so many people who won't have to go through this ever again. Never has a cancellation been reversed so fast. It's super appalling, especially because after all of this stuff came out and after Justin's team put up the lawsuitinfo.com, Taylor then wrote the song Canceled. And it was obviously about Blake and Baldoni. I mean, there you got the lines of referring to Justin, bring a tiny violin to a knife fight, baby, that all ends tonight. It's enough. Or she writes, did you girl boss too close to the sun? Okay, let's just discuss this. That girl boss is being used inappropriately at a lot of times these days. It is actually kind of, it's like girl boss is now mean girls talk. At this point, you're just like, honey, drop it. She's just being a mean girl. You're being a mean girl. So here's the deal. The next YouGov summary comes out with Taylor's popularity in April. And don't think I won't be there. Refresh to get it on. Because, I mean, if I'm getting a little sick of her, that's a problem. Because I was pretty neutral on Taylor. Actually, I was like, I kind of liked her. I'm not so mad at her. All right. Next up in the Celebrity Crash Report, we've got Will Smith. Yeah, Mr. Men in Black. Guess what? He's absolutely creeping everybody out, that poor guy. I mean, I say the poor guy, even though, I mean, he creeps me out and I don't really want to hang out with him. You know, what can I say? Hold on. Oh, somebody wants to know what my channel is about? It's The Scoop. I do all celebrity exclusives. A bunch of them are mine. The exclusives I'm talking about today, you can find on News Nation because that's my day job. I'm on air for News Nation. Anyway, Will Smith, this guy has never recovered from his Oscar slap with Chris Rock. And yeah, I'm kind of glad. I mean, you want to talk about a bully. You get like a 6'3" dude walking up on a guy who in several states would be given a handicap license because he's so short, and you smack the hell out of him for making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's bald head when she clearly was doing it to make a statement. There was obviously a lot more going on between Will and Jada after that. We all know they got this weird relationship. She don't really even live with him. She's off seeing other dudes, including a much younger 20s guy. I mean, good for her, but they still married. They're all like, I love it so much. And thank you. This is my secretary look. Anywho, so Will, yeah, he was in a Bad Boys sequel and that did well. However, Emancipation did not. And he is not getting a lot of offers. The last couple of years, he's been in a couple of music videos, and he produces Bel Air, that TV show based on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, not French Prince. Anywho, so he's sitting there, and he can't get a job because literally Hollywood is just kind of like, you give me the ick. No. And, you know, my sources are telling me they always felt kind of uncomfortable around Will Smith. He has kind of an anger management issue that we all saw come out at the Oscars, but that you could feel it in one-on-one movies. And also, you know, he and Jada dabble in Scientology where it's just like, it's going to be this way. And you'll say, what about this? No. You know, like there's Brooke, nothing. If you have anything to say, they ain't ready to hear it. And I think the slap just kind of made everyone go, in a way, we don't have to hire him no more. We're done, you know? So that's our dear little Willie. Oh, that sounds so sad, doesn't it? Then we come to Jeff Bezos. In a way, I kind of love that Jeff Bezos is leaning into his Hall of Doom look. Like, he's like Lex Luthoring it out big time. Did y'all see those photos? One day I'm going to figure out this, and by that I mean next week, the background so I can shove it up for you. This poor guy, he marries Lauren, who obviously loves her nurse, Jackie. That's the injectable lady who follows them wherever so that no lines will be ever, and they are freshly pumped. And remember when he went off into space and he showed up with the lips just like Lauren and the cheekbones and everything? Well, he's calmed down on that. He showed up in Paris with like Grizzle and what I have called facial masculinity surgery, which also includes injectables. Now, I know this because between us, don't tell anyone, I also got it once. You can get the fillers, they inject it here to like square up your jaw a bit so that this doesn't sag and it goes like this. I mean, listen, I've also gotten the eyelids done. I get the Botox, but I don't get the Botox like those two get it, where it's like, look, my face can move. If I'm mad at you, you will know these two are not. Meanwhile, Jeff is out there all FMSing around Paris, like, hello. And they're wearing matchy outfits. I mean, come on, man. That is. Unless you're in like Disneyland or Dollywood, I don't know about matchy. I mean, I'm going to try not to judge too much, but damn, that is fucking harsh. You know what I mean? It's, they're like gray. And then Lauren, who's like 5 foot nothing, is wearing a long skirt with her kind of pigeon-toed walk. And you're like, don't do it, girl. Don't wear a long skirt like that. You cannot be doing that when your legs are this short and your body's this tall. It's not a good look. Go back to the bikinis. That's what your body is made for. We love it. And Jeff, should we call you Mr. Lex Luthor from now on? Mr. Luthor. We find them in the Hall of Doom. It's kind of amazing. You know, I love that the guy is going to be all of our overlords in 3, 2, 1 and really wants to look the part. Good job. You're leaning into central casting, Jeff. I like it. Finally, Brett Ratner. All right, this is a story I haven't really told. Back in the day, you know, I was on Entertainment Tonight, all that stuff, and then I quit to travel the world. Old abroad. Woo-hoo. And I did weird stuff like hunt with the Ba'aka pygmies in the Congo and ski in Afghanistan, because that's what you do. So in between that, I would come back, and every now and again, I get invited to these movie premieres with my friend Chris, because she's fabulous, and she'd be like, want to be my +1? I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So we go to this movie premiere, and we're sitting down, we're on the aisle, because I was like an easy escape. Brett Ratner knows Chris. And he's like, hey, Chris. And meanwhile, Brett is small and furry. He's kind of like a human Monchichi, if you know what that means. If you're old enough to remember, if you're not, look it up. It'll make sense. So Brett's like, yo, hey, Chris, what's up? Oh, my God, hello. And he zooms in on him. He's like, no, who are you? And he leans in and he's like, who are you? What's your name? Hey, you gonna go to the after party? And at one point he like touches me. I go, oh my God, you're touching me. And then his hand slipped to my thigh. I go, why are you touching me? I don't know you. He got a little freaked out. And Chris leaned over and goes, this is Paula Froelich. And he went, oh, and scurried off. 2 years later, all the accusations came out about him, but I was just laughing my butt off. I was like, who is this little man who thinks he can just touch me? Doesn't even know my name and is invading my personal space. Well, as you all know, after the whole Me Too era, all the contracts dried up and he lived in Miami. He went back down to Miami and then he became besties with Melania and Donald. And now, as I wrote in a column for News Nation about a month or two ago, he's living there. They gave him a free place at Mar-a-Lago because they got these Mar-a-Lago estates. So he's safely ensconced in Mar-a-Lago in the estates, and he's running around. And Bezos, you know, Lex Luthor, was trying to hump the Trump leg so badly, he bought the Melania Trump for $45 million, the documentary. A lot of that went to Brett. Refill his coffers, pay his lawyers, whatnot. And then they also gave $35 million for marketing. So in total, Amazon spent $70 million on that documentary. It's bad shit. I would like to make a documentary about me walking through Central Park, glossy shots. I'd even wear like a little spaceship hat, you know, and have someone buy it. I would even take just $1 million. in New York. Naturally, there wasn't any. But now you got the Republicans buying them all up because they're like, no, 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 look, it's going to be huge. Again, it's almost like Scientology. Back in the day, they would buy all the tickets to Tom Cruise movies, John Travolta movies. And it's almost like everything's just become like a weird cult these days. Someone at the top tells you to do it, everyone follows like lemmings. It's just enough already, man. I mean, I might eat a gummy and screen it on Amazon, but I'm not gonna watch the whole thing because I can't stand a 4-minute loving woo shot. It's a lot. Are you guys gonna go see it? I would, if anyone here is gonna go see it, I would like to know because I would like for you to write up exactly what happened and send it to me. It would be genius. All right. Thanks, guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Do this again next week. Same time. Oh, same bat time. Same bat channel. Who knows if Lex Luthor is going to fly in. Bye. Yeah, and again, I still don't know how to get out of here. I don't. There we go, I think.